So, in all my 15 years of consciousness and being able to pick and choose what I enjoy and don't, one thing that has always fascinated me was zombies, and particularly the Walking Dead type zombies and World and Apocalypse. I just liked how it was really dark and realistic and gritty and grounded. But to me, it was always fun to think how I'd survive a zombie apocalypse like that, how far I'd be willing to go to stay alive, and what type of methods I'd use, and if I'd be a loner or start a community and survive with them. But obviously nothing like that was ever gonna happen in real life, so I turned to the other thing I love and still love today, video games. So I set out to try and capture that specific feeling of my ideal zombie apocalypse in video games, and I'm still searching for the right type of game I'm looking for. So with that being said, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Veria and I talk about games and stuff. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. We are very close to 200 subscribers, and obviously enjoy the video and like the video, share it with whoever you want to share it with. So first, in order to understand what type of zombie games I'm looking for, you have to break it down into certain blocks, from the genre or genres I'd want it to be, to the gameplay and a bunch of other things and features. But before I start, I already know you're naming 100 zombie games out there, like Project Zomboid, or the State of Decay games, or Days Gone, or The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, Telltale games. There's a lot of different zombie games out there, but for me, there's none that's really hitting it for me and scratching that itch that I have. So now you may be asking yourself, all these zombie games out there, what exactly are you searching for? Well, let me finally tell you. For me, the perfect zombie game has to tick the boxes of action, horror, survival, open world exploration, looting, NPCs and communities and all that, and lore that actually makes sense and is grounded and kind of realistic, but not too realistic, because I still want it to be a video game. So first and foremost, I'd want to talk about the type of game and gameplay I'm looking for. Personally, I'd want a third-person shooter type of game with good gunplay and melee combat. So I'd say something like The Last of Us 2, something like that, with more refined melee combat, so that the main combat aspect of the game isn't really about guns, and guns are more scarce and rare. And then I'd want it so that, as I said, guns and ammo are very rare and really risky to use, like being the same type of zombies in The Walking Dead, where gunshots and really any type of noise attracts them, and they come in bigger hordes. Again, I'd want the game to also be open world, so that we can explore and loot all around. I'd also want the world to feel lived in and feel like it's been alive before the collapse happened. And now for the most important thing, and the thing that has to carry the game, the zombies. I want the zombies to be genuinely scary, like the scariest horror game or movie you've ever watched. And the atmosphere of the game, I'd want it to be really haunting and eerie and just like really creeping you out, even if there's nothing happening, even if you're just walking around in the world, whether it's day or night, and no matter what weather it is. I just want to feel that kind of sense of dread and hopelessness that comes with being in a situation like this, that can really encapsulate what I'm trying to get out of a zombie game. And I think a game that does that well is Project Zomboid. It makes you feel very isolated and really hopeless and really desperate. It's just it captures the atmosphere that I want, but not in the style that I want it. I still love the game, but it's still not scratching that sort of itch I want. I still want there to be a couple of survivors and communities that I can interact with and kind of, build off the back of that hopelessness, and then just try and build back that hope. That's what I kind of want with an atmosphere like that. I want to be able to try and build something better after my character dies. But I also want there to be NPCs, as I said, I can interact with and build camps and maybe get into rivalries with other communities. And I want it to be actually difficult to survive, like food being scarce, water being dirty, and more aggressive NPCs than friendly ones, and more people just trying to survive more than, interact with other humans. I'd also want to have the option to actually talk to the NPCs if that is possible, like in Skyrim or all these other RPGs have that RPG element of going to these NPCs, talking to them, trying to recruit them, trying to build a community with them, or maybe antagonizing them, and just having a reactive action in the world and impacting the other NPCs that live in the same world as you. So that was just me yapping a bit, but I want to expand more on what I'd want out of the horror aspect for a game like this. Well, I like the zombie design to be actually scary, decaying humans, and gross and grotesque in a way that feels like it's an actual dead body and not really a mythical type of zombie raised from the dead. I want it to be like a sort of virus that took over the human body, and you just see like it killed the host and now the physical body is deteriorating, and as the game goes on the zombies become a bit weaker and look more dead and dried out and really rough around the edges. And I'd also want it to be gory with limbs falling off, even with NPCs, cutting limbs off and, shooting arms off, shooting the heads of zombies off, just actually be really bloody and gory. I'd also enjoy if the zombies would be in more small groups, like kind of hunting groups, and vary from size to size of groups. So it would be more rare to find a single zombie on its own. So let's say like a group of 5 zombies is more common than seeing a single zombie in a place walking by itself. I'd also want big hordes, like really, really big hordes that come together and are really hard to escape from, like in Days Gone or Project Zomboid. Like if you alert a horde, like it's a very slim chance that you alone can beat that horde or live or escape the horde. But again, on the zombie design, I want them to not look too monstrous. I'd want them to still look very human, and I'd also want that any NPCs are killed and not shot in the head, they turn into zombies, and we see the decaying process through the newly fresh dead NPCs. Okay, so now on to the type of zombies that I want to be in the game. I'd have them be like the Walking Dead zombies, but also mixed in with the World War Z zombies. I want a good mix of like semi-fast zombies and the slow normal walking zombies. And I'd also want sprinter zombies just to, spike the difficulty a bit more and make it very hard for the player to survive. Make the player actually plan out the route that they want to take and how they want to approach situations. And I'd also want it so that when you're bit or scratched on bare skin even once, that you're infected and there is no cure for it, you can't really do anything about it, and you have a couple of days or weeks in the game to live. But you also get weaker as each day passes and your attributes drop off or something like that. Just something that actually affects you if you mess up and get bitten or scratched by a zombie. I'd also want a kind of morality or honor system where choices you make, whether in dialogue or through gameplay, matter and affects the world around you. Like for instance, let's say you're wandering around looking for food and supplies. You come across a camp and they're a few feet away from the supplies. So you sneak through and loot some food and take some of their stuff also. Then let's say you hide somewhere or where they're still in view and there's a little infighting over the missing supplies. Maybe one of them is accused of taking the supplies because they'll just have just a bit more than the rest, or maybe even they search the area a bit to see if there was a wild animal or something that took the stuff. And now though, it doesn't have to end there though. Let's say you go back to your base, enjoy your food you took, and use the supplies to build or craft something or strengthen your base. And then you sleep the night off, and the next couple of days in game you go another route to loot and do your regular stuff. Then after a while you turn back and head in the direction of where the camp was. You see remnants of the camp still there, and you keep walking for a good distance, and then see like a starved weak body zombie set smashed in or a bullet in its head. You keep going and come across these frail brittle zombies barely able to walk, and realize these are the same guys you stole from, and maybe one of them betrayed the rest because of your actions. I'd want the world to be reactive to what you do to other NPCs, whether friendly or not. And if you can have like your own community of NPCs, you'd have to actually take care of them them, keep them safe and fed, or else they'll leave and turn on you too and try and take over your community. I think that would be really cool if it was somehow integrated into the game. I'd also want it to be that if you're seen or spotted by other NPCs, they remember you, and now there could be battles for supplies and bases depending on how you approach the situation. Think something like in the Walking Dead show, with how it was always Rick and his people fighting other communities to survive. That's what I want to be added, but more with the threat of actually efficient scary zombies and hordes that can wipe both the player's community and enemy community at the same time. Another thing I don't make in the world feel alive would also be wildlife, like rabbits, chicken, deer, and plenty of other animals that you can hunt or build a farm with, or hostile wildlife that also wants to survive. But how would the player get around the world? Well, for me personally, I love cars and bikes, but that won't fit in a zombie apocalypse game. So I'd still have them be there, the cars and the bikes, but I'd have them look beat up and bikes that are more rare to work and drivable. So finding an actual working car would be very rare, but they would be around the map, like, you know, just abandoned, beaten up cars that don't work anymore. I'd also want to make fuel more rare and scarce, because fuel would have a lot of uses, like powering a generator and fueling cars, and it would be sought after by a myriad of other NPC groups that the game would have to account for. So another thing that would also be very important and make the game really feel whole would be the setting, like the map and where exactly this game would take place. I'd want the setting to be like basically how GTA 5's map was split. So let's say the forest and high mountains, then we have a decrepit city that's getting taken over by overgrowth from plants and wild animals, like in The Last of Us. And then I'd also want a countryside, dusty desert lake with towns far and few in between that are abandoned and houses on private property. I'd also want the various buildings and general setting to tell a visual story of the world before and things that happened before our characters spawned in. So like recent dead bodies and zombies scattered around in houses, cars, or maybe trapped somewhere. Maybe signboards showing the past years that have gone and everything before the apocalypse happened. So now pair that also with some good stealth mechanics like Splinter Cell-like stealth and moving in and out of different buildings, camps, and places to loot. Then personally, I feel like that'd be a perfect zombie game for me. So I feel like with everything I've said and how I've put everything in its order, I feel like that would be a perfect zombie game for me that would actually capture the feeling that I'm looking for. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my yap session. I thought I'd switch it up a bit and just tell you, if I were a game developer, what type of game I would make. Hopefully there's some developer out there making a game like this right now. But anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe and like, share and comment your ideas on what type of zombie survival game you'd want. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. So yeah, bye.